Digital Media.
Come on!
I'm a hippo. Broadcast Hippo Digital Media.
What is up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Donny P is here. I see Gina from Gabella Media. I see Tiefel is here as well. Donny P, I can't go anywhere without seeing a goddamn Steve Taylor billboard in this goddamn town.
Yes. What do you think, man?
Probably the most brilliant campaign I've seen in a long time in this town. Where if you
would love to hear that, I'll tell him.
If you haven't seen that, random people, I don't know how you haven't, but basically he's recreated scenes from movies or movie posters or kind of, and they're just spread out throughout town. I've seen a James Bond 007. I've seen Top Gun. I've seen there's even a game show one, which isn't really a movie, but it's still
I've seen Mr. T.
I haven't seen Mr. T yet.
I haven't seen any
on
of
75 north, like coming from Perrysburg to Toledo.
Oh,
it sounds like you guys need to work on keeping your eyes on the road.
Well, I haven't actually seen one yet either because Tiefel, we probably just take the same route to work every day, and like. Andrew and Gina are cruising around town.
I know.
Going to different places.
I got a food truck attached to me, so I'm going
there for burritos.
And I'm looking for food trucks. So
I was down the street from Donnie's work, hoping he'd make a guest appearance at the truck, and he never showed up. I could see the Taylor Kia sign, and I even messaged him. I'm like, Donnie, I'm watching you.
You did?
Yeah. Did you not get my text? It was about a week ago. Yeah, I
totally would have came over.
Oh man, I don't know if you were at work, but and also our good friend and loyal listener Josh, who always comes and hangs out with me at the food truck. Josh said that the new open to the show, where the opening title sequence, that Chris Tiefel has been removed. And Josh said he thought you'd left the show. He was glad to see you that you weren't Thanos. You were just Thanos off the opening picture, but that you're still here. He was good to see you were alive, Chris.
I don't know how observant Josh is because I've never been on that picture.
No, he has never, because he doesn't listen and follow directions, and he's not a team player.
I 100% have told you. Tell me where to go, and I'll take the picture.
Right, because everybody went on one day, and you decided you wanted to make me work extra to go on a different day.
I was unable to go.
Own photo shoot.
I was unable to go that day.
Uh-huh.
All right, so here's the other thing that I want to talk about. Where's Demetrius? I wonder.
Walking his dog, I bet.
Has anyone actually called him to check in on him? Because it's not like him to not be here.
I know. Here,
yesterday.
Like, did he faint off the toilet again?
We'll find out. I will find out. I'm texting him right now. So yeah, I don't know where do we like. It's not like he's a clockwork boom. He's like waiting for all of us all the time. He's up at 4 a.m, so we'll find out what's going on with him. But all right, Donnie. So here's what I wanted to talk to you about. Two things.
Oh! You guys spoke him into existence. Here he comes. Uh-oh.
Spoken.
There he is.
Hey. we're like Demetrius is never missed, never late. What is going on,
dude? Okay, so let me just. All right.
Did you pass out on the toilet again?
No, shut up. All right. Okay, so let me just. This has been my journey so far with this dog, right?
Oh, he's the dog.
Gina was right.
Dog.
This is the dog. He is a very, very high energy kind of animal. And if you do not exercise him, he turns into a human pinball machine in the house. God. It is, it's 60 pounds of just a ball of muscle and bone just running at full speed through our house. Now, we were in the backyard 3 weeks ago, and I was working the dog, and I was like, he was doing such a good job. He was off leash. He was doing what I was telling him to do. I was feeling really comfortable. And then my neighbor who lives behind me came out of the house. And I was like, okay, it's fine. And then my dog went, hey, I wonder what that guy smells like. And he took off and jumped the fence. Now, jumped. I mean, he was like, hey, I wonder why'd somebody put this here? And he just went right over it.
Do you have one of those short squat fences or like a 6-foot privacy?
No, it's not a privacy fence. It's a chain link fence. It's about 4.5 feet high. And so imagine you're a guy in your own backyard and you see a 60-pound pit bull jump the fence and come running at you.
Jesus.
I need new shorts.
This is why we need guns, people.
Oh my God.
Well, here's this part that sucks is that once he climbs you have to change out a whole fence or figure out a strategy, and like fences aren't cheap. It's not a quick fix.
Right. Yeah. Right. So now I'm just like, well, guess what? You've lost all your backyard privileges. Until we get your shit together, you will not be going in the backyard ever again. And so I wake up every morning. I go to the gym at like 4:30. I get home and I work this dog for like 45 minutes to an hour every day. And so today he went on his walk and we walked by 3 rabbits and he did not give a shit. And I was like, small victories.
He's got bigger victims in mind now.
Dude,
yeah, I know.
Joggers, joggers were just like popping out of nowhere with lights attached to their waists. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this like the Temptation Gambit? Like, what the? And he was just walking by him. And then we had a little hiccup with a dog and an old lady who seemed to want to cross the street every fucking time I crossed the street, just so I could walk by her. And then she was like, oh, I didn't see you there. Really, bitch? Fucking really? You crossed the street 3 fucking times when I crossed the street. 3 fucking times. Like you were just like,
people cross the street to get away from you. So this is
right.
progress
Exactly.
Also.
Exactly. I'm like, look, you're not going to catch me and just scream mugger. That ain't happening.
Scream mugger. All right. So a couple things. Well, anyway, we're glad you're here, D. We were worried about you because you're like.
I want to give the shout. I want to also give a shout out to the only black celebrity at Cedar Point. There you go. All right, everybody. Big props to Franklin. Franklin, who is only represented with 3 fucking items in the Snoop store, and they're not even cool. So anyway, big shout out to Franklin. Nobody really ever says anything about you, brother, but I knew you were holding it down since the 50s.
This is the 50s when it wasn't even popular. I don't know how have they not even how have they not just introduced a new character? Like even if he wasn't around back then. I mean, black people have kind of come a long way in the last 50 years.
Right. Everybody talked about how hard Charlie Brown had it. Really? Franklin was the only black dude in that fucking town. Really?
Yeah.
People showed up in sheets at his house. It wasn't because they had cut out fake ass ghosts.
Halloween.
Yeah, it wasn't Halloween. It wasn't the Halloween episode. Andrea Whiting, my daughter's baton teacher, wanted me to remind everybody that that Maisie is making her Perrysburg High School majorette debut this Friday night. She will be leading
the Perrysburg marching bands onto the field and doing her twirly thing. Well, that was unfortunate timing.
Didn't miss a beat, Gina.
There we go.
Yes.
I know.
I got you.
She will be leading the marching Yellow Jackets onto the field at halftime, where they will be saying her name. And I told the story on Facebook. I'll tell you guys. So it was a simpler time in my life back in 10 years ago. It's when I would get off at like noon, and then would just be able to just go and then just sit in my driveway and watch the kids play and do like these were way simpler times. Like it was, so we were just it was summer and we were in the driveway and she was drawing chalk on the sidewalk or whatever. And then off in the distance, we hear music. And we're like, what is that music? And she was 4 years old at the time. And I'm like, let's go find out, Maisie. So we start to walk towards the music, and we end up at the high school, which is about half a mile away from the house that I gave to their mother voluntarily. Later, that was later in life, but
one day this will all be yours, all by yourself. This is just you. One day,
until a weatherman will then inhabit these hallways.
I just need you to be patient. Just all you gotta do, just be patient.
Yeah,
be patient. This is the long play. This isn't short-term gain. You have to look at this and go, you know what? I like this house. There's one thing I would change, and that's you. I would change you. In this house. Everything else is nice.
He used to drive by and take pictures. I'm like, what's he doing? I mean, and then he took over, and all of a sudden, the front yard is all changed. And I'm like, oh,
dude, yeah. You can't give a guy who's got weather graphics fucking ideas. He just photoshopping you out of stuff and putting ground clutter in.
Anyway, that was later on in life. But anyway, so we go watch the Majorettes or we'll go watch the band. We find the band at the high school. They're doing band camp, which is like the 12-hour marathon the week they do. And she was there and loved the Majorettes. And we went back almost every day to watch them perform and get ready. And then ever since then, she's had a baton in her hand for 10 years. And now it's come full circle as she was at band camp last week. And I was able. I snuck there the first day. She probably didn't want me there, so I figured. So I kind of snuck over there to watch a little bit, and then this Friday she will be on the field.
Super creepy.
Man, I know.
Super. You gotta make parent moves. You can't make creeper moves. Not like I'm just watching my daughter in the woods.
When Andrew says snuck there, he was in the cheese truck, so everyone knew it was him.
Don't tell her I'm here.
I mean, don't mind the 15-person line waiting for some queso fries.
I know. If you guys could keep it down, I'm trying to watch my daughter be a majorette. I'm gonna need you to just point to the shit that you want. And then I'm gonna pantomime how much money I want from you.
There was this. We were at in Port Clinton last Saturday, and it was a festival, and I'm like, it's Port Clinton. I don't know if I want to go all that way. So we get there, and all of a sudden, people started coming like ants from everywhere, and it was a line from noon until 9 p.m. straight. Like it never stopped, to the point where about 5 o'clock we ran out of tortillas, or I had to call Colleen. I'm like, Colleen, get to Port Clinton right now. She said, I'm in Perrysburg. I get to Port Clinton now. I need tortillas. So at some point I told them, look, I'm out of tortillas, so I can't do nachos, tacos, burritos, quesadillas. They're like, what? I'm like, you took all my shit. And then someone complained on the Facebook page. I waited 45 minutes and they ran out of. Sorry, what do you? People are just so stupid. I can't with the complaints. Anyway,
I mean that's like a core Mexican food ingredient. Like, what could you make?
Well, no, but we also do burgers and Philly cheese.
Oh, okay.
Just switched over to fries, like Donny said. We switched over to fries and Phillies and burgers or whatever. All right, I want to talk about. Deep brought up Cedar Point with Franklin. I do want to talk about Cedar Point. First off, we'll talk about this Top Thrill Dragster accident. I know Donnie P will want to weigh in. We need the official statement from Cedar Point. Which Donnie will offer. One was heard at Cedar Point on Sunday. She was waiting for the line of Top Thrill Dragster. It said that a piece fell off fell off Top Thrill and nailed her, and she was just standing in line with her family. And a young girl, right, Donnie? She's probably 12, 14, something like that. Or we don't know.
The last I heard, because there's they haven't announced who it was, but
right.
Everything I'm reading online, I think she was in her 40s, but she had a lot. There was a big family that she was with, about I think at least maybe 7 to 12 people that in different parts of the park. I think in line there was only she was with like two people in line, and then her family kind of showed up as like EMS was getting there.
So she's a random person that gets nailed by a flying object from the Top Thrill dragster, and then I heard that some message board said she passed away. I don't know. I know she went to one hospital and they got transferred. I don't think we have an official word on that yet, but.
See, this is the main difference between Disneyland and Cedar Point. If this was happened on Disneyland property, we would not be hearing about it after 12 hours.
I've heard they have their own.
There was a number of years ago where at the main Disneyland in Anaheim, their oldest tree like fell over and like injured a few people. It was news for like 12 hours and then nothing because their lawyers came in and shut everyone up.
Well, and I heard that they have an agreement with
Is that why you've been disbarred, Chris? Is that you remember that case because that's when your life took a turn? Disney shut you down. All you're trying to do is get the truth out.
It was John Grisham style.
I did hear that there was an agreement, and I don't know if this is true, but there's an agreement between Disney and like like the local township in Anaheim paramedics and fire that they're not allowed on this or police. They're not allowed on Disney grounds. Disney will handle all their own shit. And
it's like the Vatican.
Yeah, people exactly.
You're not allowed in here. We handle our own business up in here.
It's its own sovereign nation.
It's the same thing for Disney World down in Florida. They've got their own EMS, their own fire, their own police force.
Yeah, that's Florida. I mean, I wouldn't trust Florida EMS or police.
But anyway, so hopefully she's okay. What a freak accident. I'm sure she's at least going to have tickets for life if she makes it.
Yes.
What about the poor bastards that were waiting in line for 3 hours and had gotten into the car when it hit her in the face? Like, nobody's talking about them, but they had finally made it. They had heard the
If I'm in the car, I'm like, why couldn't she fucking duck? God, now I don't even get my ride.
You didn't see it? You didn't see it coming? It's on the world's tallest roller coaster. Really? You didn't see it? Like, honestly, it didn't jump out and shoot you in the face. It fell. It fell. You look up. This is a roller coaster town. Everybody's looking up.
I do find it kind of interesting how they're using the word fell, because everything I'm reading, it sounds like it was when the roller coaster was coming back to the station and like slowing down, something like flew off of it. So it didn't like fall down off like the top of the roller coaster or anything like that. It was like shot off of it. So fell off the roller coaster. I feel like it's a weird
misleading, slightly misleading. It fell at a high velocity at a different trajectory.
Donnie is the spokesperson. He's cleaning shit up right now.
Cleaning up.
No, I'm not cleaning up.
This article uses the word disengaged.
Yeah, he's saying it was worse than what they're saying. They also keep all the news articles keep saying like small metal object hit guest, and it's like it came off, and the way it looks to me is it shot her in the head like a bullet. It's not just like something was like, oh, ow, that hurt. Let me get some stitches. Like something like this little girl or whoever this is not in good shape.
Police all over the country are like, this is what we should have been saying. Like, our bullets fell out of our gun at a high velocity and hit that guy in the face.
Hit that black dude.
Like, we didn't know. We had done maintenance on the rifle ride, but the bullet still fell out of the gun.
Yeah, the police need the Cedar Point PR people.
Hell yeah, they do.
Right.
Okay, so
disengaged from.
But anyway, I've been wanting to talk to Donnie. I have a scenario that I've been wanting to pitch at him for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna. Oh, look at Natasha's back. She missed us. Missed our faces. We missed you too, Natasha. Okay. So this is the scenario. All right. Don, you can't answer, Donnie. You have to answer last. Donnie P gets a call from Cedar Point, okay? They're like, Donnie, we need you. The place is falling apart. you have to be. This has nothing to do with the lady, because I've had this for 2 weeks. So the Donnie, it had to do with like the mass hiring, and I knew this guy that called to get a job, and they had him there the next day. Like they're that desperate for people. So if they tell Donnie, the place is falling apart, we need your expertise at this. You're the only guy that can do it for us. We need you here. You're going to get your own office. You're going to get your name badge there. You're not going to, he's not just going to be a ride worker. He's like a full-time employee year round, whatever. It's making half the money that he makes now, though. They're like, Donnie, this is all we can pay you. It's, we're tough times right now, but you'll be an important guy at Cedar Point. Your name will be on a fucking brick or whatever. And,
already is.
Oh, it already is true. but your name will be on the board of executives or whatever. So, okay, now I need to know: does Donnie take that job? If they call him, what's the CEO's name? What's the girl in charge's name?
Don't act like you don't know. Stop.
What?
We made the announcement. That was a few weeks ago.
Isn't her name Kim?
All right, so hey, it's Kim on the phone. Donnie, I'm calling you personally. We want to offer you a job. We need you here. The place falling apart. Without you, it's not going to do it. Things aren't good, so we can only pay you half what you're making now, Donnie.
Gary Boldman, sorry.
Okay, yes, but it's Cedar Point. Will you please come take this job?
I'm waiting for Ashley's head to pop in his frame right now. Like, he's not taking that.
Demetrius, now you got to be honest, Donnie. Does Donnie answer that call with "I'll be there" and put in his 2 weeks at Taylor Kia and go to work full time at Cedar Point? Yes or no?
The answer to that is no. I think
his dream.
I think I see. First of all, I think they've called him at a moment of high stress. He is just they offer him half the money. And he has just been to the park last week where he saw people with flyers shoving them in other people's faces, offering $20 an hour just to be part of Hollow Weekends. And he's like, "You're offering strangers $20 an hour." Mm-hmm. And this is what half? Oh, hell no. No, I'm not going to do that. And by the way, all your rides suck. Long live Franklin.
I feel like that's probably accurate. They're already offering about half of what he's making to work hourly.
We've gone through, but the negotiations aren't part of the scenario.
I don't think so. I don't think he does it.
Okay, all right. So you don't think, like, there's no more money to be had. He knows it. So the offer is there. You either take this offer and you are part of the Cedar Point legacy to where you are now making decisions on what rides come in here. You're helping with all that. You're involved in all of the Cedar Point moving forward. The future of Cedar Point, Donnie P, you are involved in. You have a vested interest in if you take this job. Demetrius says you will not take that job. Chris Tiefel.
Yeah, I say he doesn't. He loves Cedar Point. It's his hobby. He loves all theme parks, everything like that. Mm-hmm. And they always say, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But Donnie doesn't love working in an office. Donnie loves being on the roller coasters. Donnie loves being out in the park. All right. So he wants to do that. He doesn't want to be in an office looking at figures and trying to figure out how to make things work around. He wants to go out and enjoy it.
I disagree.
That's not his dream job.
Okay, but here's all the other part of it. Donnie gets an office on the second floor where he's at a big window that overlooks Cedar Point at all times.
But so he's on any of the rides.
That's part of it.
Or they create like an executive track that just shoots off from like, what is that? The gatekeeper. And that's how you get to work every day. A big glass wall opens up, like, and then your executive roller coaster car comes in.
No, it's just his chair turns into one. He just pushes the button.
And then there's some foreign kid with a microphone who says, "Welcome to your office, Mr. Palicki." And then another kid steps on the button, and then your harness releases. And then that's how you get to work every day.
And then at any time, that's also how he surveys the park, because his car, his chair turns into a coaster, and he can just shoot all over the park like that.
Yeah, it's like attached to every roller coaster.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they offered him the job of like ride tester, he would jump. He would jump at that. I would say he would jump at that. But Donny likes being out amongst the people. He doesn't want to be in an office.
But he can walk around it all the time. Like he can just leave his, like I said, there's a big window so he can look at Cedar Point all the time. He can walk out among the people. So you're saying that, so what do you say, Tiefel? Yeah, you're saying he will not take the job.
He wouldn't take the job. It's not what he wants to do.
All right. Gina.
So $20 an hour is a little over $40,000 a year, and I'm going to guess that Donny doesn't make $80,000 a year. So it's already paying over half of what he makes. And and when you're not at work at Cedar Point, you can go and ride all the rides for free. So he's already had this opportunity to work at Cedar Point for half of what he makes now, be able to ride the rides and walk around amongst people. So I'm going to say no. And also, joke's on you, because he'll decide what roller coasters come in for free.
But here's the difference. Donny will be involved in the planning, the future of Cedar Point.
He'd do that part for free. They would not have to pay him.
All right.
But if you work there, is the rides really, are they free? I mean, aren't you paying a price for stuff? Isn't that just the equivalent of free fries at McDonald's? Like,
plus, I don't understand people that go back to their place of work on their day off.
If your work was Cedar Point, then that would be different.
I still wouldn't because I'd go to Cedar Point. I'd go to Cedar Point and I'd be like, I want to enjoy the rides, and then all of a sudden I'm getting 50 million different questions from all the staff because I happen to be there.
Mr. Palicki, can we talk about my hours? No, just push play. We'll just push go on the ride. I just want to ride the ride. But Mr. Palicki.
Look, Missy, can't you see I'm drunk? Why would you try to talk to me right now?
And he would make everyone call him Donny. Like, don't call me Mr. Palicki. It's Donny. Yes, sir. Okay.
Don or Big B. That's what I like. Don or Big B. That's what I want you to call me.
Sven, call me Big D. Sven. Okay. Don't call me Mr. Palicki. I'm one of you.
Andrew's asking, how much Walt Disney do I have in me? That's what he's asking. He wants to know if I want to be a dream maker.
All right, Donny P.
A dream builder.
Do you want to be a dream builder? Do you want to be a dream maker? Do you want to be a guy that brings legacy to Northwest Ohio for half the salary that you have now, but you wear a name badge? You're one of the guys. You're one of the people at Cedar Point. Do you? By the way, I say yes because I know I would. No matter what, the money doesn't matter. It's
well, doing. I mean, it would still be more than you're making now. So of course you would.
Fuck you, people.
I would say.
All right, Donny P. Would you accept a job at Cedar Point for half the money of what you're making now?
If I have the chance to be a dream builder, okay, I have a finger on the pulse of the experience of the park goers of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot to it. You guys, like you said, I live an hour away on purpose because if you're too close, it takes away the magic. So, yes, I would risk losing the magic in order to make dreams. I think I would do it. But
if you're making, if you're making half of what you're making now, you can't afford to go to the park every weekend.
He's running.
Also, Ashley's going to kill you, so you'll just be dead. So there's
all right. I knew
people try to talk somebody into their answer. I'm sorry, Donny, I was wrong. But these two are like, let me tell you why what you said is wrong.
I knew it. I knew there's no way. He loves the place too much. There's no way that he was passing up on that opportunity.
And I have had.
So then that question is, what level of job would it have to be before he turns it down? Like if they offered him janitorial, would he still take it?
Right. Yeah. What is the lowest level you would take, Donny, and still take that deal? Like you wouldn't ride the ride for less. I mean, you wouldn't work the ride even though they give you full time. Like say you could work year round and do other stuff. You wouldn't just work the ride, right? It would have to be
sitting there in December pushing a red button, running the Gemini, just mad as hell,
dude. Last year, when they opened right after COVID, they didn't even open till July, and they didn't have any overseas staff. You could tell there were some lifers, like some high up like manager types running the rides. It was crazy. I was like, man, I haven't seen this guy before, and I can tell he's been here a long time. So
yeah,
but
standing there like this, I told myself I'd never. He's like 30 years. I told myself I'd never be back here.
Just 2 days to retirement.
So Donnie, let me ask you this: if it was half the money, and you just said I would take that job because I was making dreams, I'm a dream maker. Would Ashley allow you to take a job for half the money, even though it was the job that you loved?
Oh, sure. But I mean, the more like you said, like, would it be something that I could really like love and sink my teeth into and become a job? Because honestly, like I spend half of my time explaining to people my obsession with Cedar Point, and it's not as much about the rides. It's more about giving the kids an experience and memories that they're going to have. So it's like, I've thought about this, like the older they get, like what's my obsession going to turn into? Like I'm sure it will still be there in some way, but I think it's going to change and develop. And, it's all about.
Donnie's hoping they start building condos on Cedar Point. So that's like a retirement home condos, like on the second floor above all the Midway games, so that he can just,
right.
he just shout out the window. Tell the people, come on, you can do it. You can win.
What about you, Andrew? If it was Disney, what job would you take? I know you love Cedar Point, but I know Disney's.
I would take a low level. I would take low level, dude. I would, if I just need to be on a microphone. Like if I could run the Jungle Crew, if I could just be one of the workers on the Jungle Cruise, I'd be happy. Like it doesn't have to, for me. It doesn't have to be a high up job.
You could be a janitor with a microphone.
Even the parking. They have a parking lot train. So where someone's I've always loved it as a kid. I dreamed about doing this job, but there's a driver at the front of the train, and at the back of the train, there's a tour guide who's on a microphone. I've always wanted to be the tour guide on the back.
And this is parking lot 4B.
Yeah,
as you can see here.
I would love it. I would even take
the purple section.
I would be thrilled to be the parking lot person in the back of the train.
Well, one of my customers is like one of the pedicab drivers on the boardwalk. If you get Dave on the boardwalk, tell him Donny P said, "What's up?" Yeah,
I will.
I see him every year. Every year. He bought a car for me a couple years ago, so I've seen him up there probably 6 times since he got his car. I'm like, hey, he's given us a ride a couple times.
So I wanted to know Donny P's answer. I was the only one that got it right because I knew that
you were.
Because you talked him into it.
How did I talk him into it? I just threw the scenario. Because you all had the information. You guys all could have made the same choice.
See, the thing is, this is
number one.
Good.
Sorry. Well, yeah, so it'd be a challenge. It'd be scary. It'd be fun. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
And number 2, it's hypothetical. So.
Good, D.
Yeah, like we came at it at a practical sense. I think that's what the problem was. Like we were like, well, he's got 3 kids. He's got a wife who's, and that's what we thought. Like we approached it at a bill point of view.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't look at it as a dream point of view. And like at times, you get caught up in like, you're just like, well, I never thought he'd go after his dream. That's fucking crazy. That is.
Who does that?
Who does that?
But there's a reason that dreams are dreams. So like, if you start doing your dream and it just becomes a regular job, and you lose that magic out of it.
I think that's what people who don't want to chase their dreams say.
I don't want to ruin my dream and make it into a job. Not a job, not my dream.
That's what guys at the end of their life say to make themselves feel better and not kill themselves. Yeah. It's like, I didn't want to achieve my dream job because it's not a dream anymore.
Yeah. I didn't want to date that hot girl. I just break her heart. That's all. That's there's no reason for me to just go around and do that. She's probably a guy anyway. Stupid hot girl.
Speaking of dream jobs, there's a lady who's had many dream jobs. My guess, because you don't just become a weather person. Like you have to love weather. Like you can't. You. That's like a passion of yours. I've known many weather guys in my life, through TV weather guys over the years. I know 2 that work at the Weather Channel. I know many TV weather guys. One guy's got a picture of the first strike of lightning in his house, right in the living room. Like that's the first strike of lightning. I'm like, it is, dude. That's cool.
Who told him that? Like where? Like how do you have proof of that? Who knows?
It's the first picture of lightning.
Yes, thank you, Donny.
Okay.
Hey guys, quick, fast. I have to take off and get kids to school. Love you guys.
Bye, Gina.
Bye.
Bye, Gina. Anyway, weather people are passionate about their job. So this girl was a weather person at a couple stations. And then she left town to go be a weather person at another station. And she's not there though. Oh, there she is. She left town to be a weather person at another station. And then now she is back in town and she does PR for the Victory Center. So the Victory Center is having a big event coming up next Friday, a week from this Friday. And is it true, Tiefel, that you're going to be part of that event?
I'm backup.
Oh, you're backup. Okay, you're backup on that event.
So
okay.
if the original person drops out, then I will be dropping down the building.
Yes. So it's a big event where you rappel down a building, and they asked if any of us want to be backups, and Tiefel was the only one that spoke up because it scares the crap out of me.
I did some rappelling in high school, so
the girls.
I was.
Yeah.
No, that's a modern occurrence.
Rappelling down to girls' windows so you can look in. That doesn't count.
They would get close and then turn around and walk away.
When it came to being charming to women, I peaked in high school. But no, I was also a lot lighter then, so I might hit terminal velocity this time.
Terminal velocity.
Anyway, so the big event is a week from this Friday, and Kimberly's on the phone with us right now from the Victory Center. Hi, Kim. How are you? Can you hear us? Did she freeze up on us?
She's almost there.
She's almost there. Hello, Kimberly.
Slow motion blink.
I know, right? I thought I was seeing things.
She's going for the Guinness Book of World Records.
It looked like one of those pictures that if you move your face in a different angle, like it like blinks, or like the mouth or the face changes. You see a Corvette, and then you see Farrah Fawcett.
I think she's going to try to reconnect. Anyway, Kimberly Newman is going to be joining us here in a couple seconds from the Victory Center to talk. What's the event called? I have everything here but the name. Let's try it again.
Called jumping down the side of a building.
That's what. Yes, there it is. The big down the side of the event
with Jamal Moore.
What? Shut up. Anyway, she's trying to connect. Let's see. Kimberly, you there?
Trying something different. We're walking around the house.
She's propelling right now. Look at her. She's practicing.
Hold on.
She's hanging from the ceiling. Hang on.
You're struggle. Thank God I never had work from home.
You're upside down.
No, she's.
What?
I am.
Hold on.
Oh. Was that a repelling joke?
There you go.
Really?
What were you looking at, Demetrius, to where?
She's upside down.
She's upside down.
Now she's right side up.
Yes, I know.
Can I maybe?
Let's see. She's gonna move to a different part of the room. The different part of the house. Let's see. We'll give her a second.
She's gonna call.
She's gonna call. Oh, she's gonna call. I don't know how that. I don't know how that works.
I I think we got. Oh, never mind.
Well, that was unfortunate. That was not a.
She was rappelling in her house like she was practicing. She's holding upside down like Spider-Man.
So what is the event for?
It's a fundraiser where you fall you climb down buildings.
Just
they don't know the name of it.
I'm looking it up.
Is there a movement that needs support of just people who climb down buildings?
What do you mean?
It's got to be for sick children or something to that effect. Not like people who are just like, man, there's no place for us to climb down buildings. We need a group and a fundraiser.
Yeah,
the elevator protesters.
Their mission is to provide hope and support to cancer patients, survivors, and those closest to them. And they've been around since 1996.
Awesome.
And so that's kind of their mission statement is to do that. So I can't remember the name of the event, but anyway, there's several spots available. If you've ever wanted to rappel from the top of a giant building in downtown Toledo,
16 stories. That's not giant.
16. Holy shit! Are you kidding?
No, 16 stories.
Yeah.
Tiefel.
Yeah, Tiefel.
Yeah, I know.
Do the math.
Yeah. Says the guy who's like hoping that he's not called up. That's nothing.
That's I can't believe we put in Demetrius. Would you do that? Because we put in the group anyone that wants to do that and jump on the list. And everyone, I'm scared of heights. I can't do it. Even me, if I go to even like the Grand Canyon or something like that, even I can't even get close to the edge because I'll start to freak out. I could slip or something. The world without me would not be a better place. So I really try to protect.
And that's how canyons actually started. Was the ground wasn't too secure. So I'm not. If I was you, I would not be at the edge of broken ground. That's
even on buildings, I can't walk to the edge and look down. I'd freak out. I remember one time when we went to Las Vegas and we went to a nightclub with Carlos Diaz. He took us to the fancy nightclubs, and we were in the air on the top of probably 80 stories. Fuck, I don't know what it was, but they have a Space Needle there or something. And there's a nightclub at the very top. The whole floor is the whole floor is plexiglass.
No way.
we're out there, and I'm the whole time. All I was petrified. It was never fun for me. It was all stressful because it just you look down and it looks like there's nothing below you, and it would freak me out so much. So none of us want to do it. Tiefel had volunteered to do it for us.
Well, here's the thing: heights scare the absolute crap out of me. I'm I have dreams of heights and it is just so my gut says I would have to say no, but I know I have to say yes. So I know that scares the hell out of me. And
heights,
I was talking to my son yesterday about he has to do this thing and it brings him a lot of anxiety. And he's so much anxiety that he can't do it. He won't do it. And I told him, I'm I understand it, but if you feed it over and over again, then you're never going to be able to beat this anxiety. It'll be something that haunts you into your adulthood. Right. And I'm afraid of heights, and I'm 49, and absolutely, I will do it if it comes.
You would do it?
Yes.
Really? Oh, all right. Well, we'll see. So Tiefel is our
my thing, Demetrius. Damn it!
This is Tiefel's thing.
Have you guys been over to the I think it's called Urban Air? They have the rappelling equipment, and you can climb up obstacles. So you could go over there and practice. It only goes up. I mean, it goes up about probably 40 feet. So it's
40 feet. Similar, you can still die. Christopher Reeves fell off a horse.
Right.
Shit. There was. It wasn't a dinosaur he fell off of. He fell off a horse.
All right.
Well, I did try it. I was up 10 feet, and there was still another 5 feet to go. And I literally had to just be okay, do it one step. Just do it one step. And there was like a worker and a customer like cheering me on because they could tell how scared I was. And then when you come down, you're like all awkward because like I was like, why does everyone fall when they?
Yeah, if I did that, people wouldn't be able to stand under me giving me encouragement because it'd be raining with the sweat of me trying to pull my fat ass up a wall.
Oh my gosh!
All right, let's bring Kimberly in. Kimberly, you there?
Hi, friends. Sorry about that. Bad connection.
It sounds good now.
Yeah, you look awesome.
So, Kimberly, a couple things I want to talk about before we get to the. I can't remember the name of the event, but I know it's the rappelling thing. It's for the victory. I know everything. I have all kinds of notes except the name. What's it called?
Over the Edge.
Over the Edge. Thank you. Okay.
That's a good name.
I love the name.
Encouraging.
So Kimberly,
there were 3 guys who were like, "Let's call it Splat."
No. My dad, not is actually repelling. My dad and my sister-in-law, and my dad had sent me an email, and he was like, "Well, what am I gonna do before the jump? And after I jump, what am I gonna?" And I'm like, "Can you stop saying that you're gonna jump?" That's not what this is.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. If you've jumped, you've started the rappelling all wrong.
Yeah, there's a right way, there's a wrong way, and then there's jumping.
So Kimberly, when I set you up before we get to the event, which is August 27th, I want to talk to you about meteorology because people don't get into meteorology because they want a job. People get into meteorology because they're freaking passionate, crazy about it. Like I've known many meteorologists. My ex-wife bangs a meteorologist. I get the meteorologist mindset. They are passionate about meteorology. So
sorcery's not a major.
Yeah, that's true. I do like to say to people that I used to predict the future for a living. But that's legit. And I am glad that you said it that way because I'm not a meteorologist anymore by title, by job, by career, I'm still really passionate about it. So you better believe that 10-day forecast is in my phone right now as a bookmark because I'm looking at how things are going to develop for next week.
So here's the thing is that we get into this job like because radio DJ or whatever. I was talking. I made a post actually the other day. I see so many of my friends that have done radio for so long that were reached the highest levels, like the most success, that are now getting out of the business and becoming realtors or just doing other things because just the business has gotten so crappy. On the business side, they love what they do. They love the rate, but it just became too, or these big companies are, cutting big salaries, so you can't make any money anymore doing this. What would make you leave what you love to go do this other thing? Was it the business side? Was it just time? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually happy to. It's kind of funny because when I was in the industry, when I had a voice in the community, I didn't feel like I had my own voice to speak up for myself. And now that I'm out of the industry, I get both. So I can reflect on my time as a meteorologist and know that it was well spent. Like highlights for me are, working with the Girl Power event at Imagination Station, hosting Weather Kids on Wednesdays, being able to travel. That's part of the job for a lot of people as well. But low lights definitely include having low morale, weird hours. I mean, I'm sleeping normal now and working a 9 to 5. You don't have that in broadcasting, and you guys are familiar with that. And when you're doing things that require sacrifice, my fiance and I actually lived long distance from each other for 2 years, so I could pursue a morning meteorology position in South Bend. When you're doing those things and making those sacrifices, you expect people who are supporting you, especially in terms of management, coworkers, ownership companies, to meet you halfway. I'm doing this for you. What are you doing for me? And oftentimes it was
you should feel thankful that you have a job.
Yes. Well, the industry, they always talk about how having an agent is important or negotiating is important. But oftentimes you would go to the table and there was no negotiation. It's a very blunt line. And it's like, you either accept this or you aren't part of this team.
The problem, Kimberly, is that it's not about it's not about compelling content anymore. I mean, on our end, it's about who's going to be the cheapest. And unfortunately, there's 50 people behind you that are younger and new to the business that will take half your salary. Yeah. So that takes away all of your negotiation power. If they don't appreciate the connection that you're making with a viewer or a listener, number one, if they take that out and it's just bottom line, which it is now with these big companies, it's just bottom line, then it takes away all your negotiating power. There's 20 people behind you, or a syndicated show, or whatever the case may be behind you. It takes away all your negotiation power. So it's like, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. Okay, well, that's shitty wages, and I'm not going to take it. So, whatever. Yeah.
I will spend the rest of my days convincing people straight out of college with a degree in meteorology, communications, journalism. I will spend the rest of my days convincing them to know their worth. Because my first job, I accepted pay at $18,500. I was under the poverty level, living in Georgia, and I was making decisions. Do I get dog food this week, or do I get human food this week? Wow. There were some real times that I was wondering, is my passion the real driving force behind this? And a lot of people, I hate to use the phrase, but drop like flies. You just see the industry thin out really quickly in the beginning, because the allure of doing something like having face and name and brand recognition is not the same as like truly deeply loving what you do.
It just an example. You look at Bobby, my wife's husband. It's like my ex-wife's husband. It's like it was the behind the scenes bullshit that he's like, I'm not giving any business, but I'm just saying that you just get tired of some of the other stuff that you have to do behind the scenes about that stuff, and you just at some point it becomes, you're like, you know what, I'd rather go do something else. It's sad that the industry that I loved, on the radio side anyway, that
Andrew's just stirring up junk here, man. They had a nice exit, a nice little, everything. Everyone was lovey-dovey about it, and then he's coming back afterward going, oh, by the way, all this bullshit behind the scenes.
Man, I tell you what, you guys have just, all of a sudden, you guys just, who knew that meteorology had, like, you guys have stirred up the secret society. There have been weather apps now going off. People are like, oh, meteorologists all over the country are like, they're talking out loud about us.
Just keep that quiet.
Yes, we are the weather alarmity.
But it's not just that. It's not just, it's the report. It's they take advantage of your love for something, and instead of paying you what you should be paid. And I always tell this.
I'll interrupt you to say it's not even about salary for a lot of people. Like, people are supported. We oftentimes said, when it was really early in the career, and I was a meteorologist for about a decade, when I was new to the industry, we said, you don't survive unless you have your parents supporting you financially, or a loved one who's in your life paying your bills, and like you're still on their cell phone plan or their insurance plans as a kid, but then you grow through the industry and you realize it's not about the money, it's about the gratification. And so what I wanted to do, and this isn't naming any particular stations or managers or anyone, but across the board, it always felt like when I wanted to be in the community doing school chats and career days and encouraging people to understand what this job career was like, and that they could chase this field, because I didn't know until very late in my school career that meteorology was an option. So when I was sharing this with people, I would oftentimes go back to the newsroom and say, this was a great opportunity for us to be present in the community that we're sharing our stories with and trying to connect with. And they would say, yeah, that's great. Put together a car wash forecast. Like, they want us to connect with people and be about lifestyle things, but they don't want us to connect with people in person. It's a little bit twisted, and you're always getting advice from a consultant who only gets paid if they give you advice.
Right.
So they're saying, you really need to show the 7-day for 45 seconds or longer. People want to ingest that information. The next time they show up 6 months later, they're saying, why are you showing the 7-day for so long? And you're like, I
know. But you're right.
If any of my sorry.
Go ahead, Tiefel.
I was going to say, if any of my employers are listening right now, it's about the money. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's fair. All right. So moving on to the 1 week event, it's going to be Friday, August 27th. Hey, you're doing what you love now. I know it's helping people, and like you said, being able to make community connections and making a difference in people's lives, which is awesome. And that's what the Victory Center does. And they've got the big event coming up a week from this Friday. Downtown, a 16-story building you're going to be able to rappel down. There are a lot of thrill seekers out there that love to do this. You guys have raised a ton of money doing this. Tell us a little bit about the event.
I love Demetrius shaking his head. These people are brave. I will say that. You head down there.
Are they brave, or are they just, or are they? I would say half are brave. The rest are just nothing left to live for. Some of them are just like, you know what? I just got in an argument with my wife. I'm gonna throw myself over this building. And God, whatever happens. If I make it down, then I'm meant to be with you forever.
Yes.
There you go. A real true test of faith. Yeah.
All right. So Kim, I do have a question about this. If I do get chosen, would I be would the people that are operating the rappelling equipment be willing to reenact that scene from The Lion King with me, where I'm just like dangling down?
No.
And they just like, long live the king.
No. Yes. There's nobody in Northwest Ohio with forearms strong enough to do that.
The team that does our safety comes from Canada. If that helps.
Well, I mean, at least I'll say sorry when they do it. I mean,
right. Now, there's a lot of really exciting stuff actually planned. We have, I think I can say this without blowing the secret. We have a rooftop proposal that is probably going to be happening. So that's sort of an exciting moment that we're looking forward to.
So does he only jump if she says no?
Right, exactly. Stop calling it a jump.
Well, no.
That is so. Step gingerly backwards.
She says no, and he like starts running and just takes a big leap.
There's like 7 girls who know that their boyfriends are going over this thing.
And I hope I didn't blow it. Yeah.
And they're all like this. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. And you're like, oh, it's one of you. One of you is going to be very disappointed.
No, it's me. I'm just like throwing the suggestion to the other room. No, I'm just kidding. We're already engaged. We're good. No, so Over the Edge for Victory is going into its 5th year. We do trust all of the safety, technical ropes things to this amazing company that we work with, Over the Edge Global, who come in from Nova Scotia, Canada. They're going to set everything up on Thursday. We hope that folks who are watching from their windows downtown are going to see this and start to come out. Thursday evening is our VIP night. So we'll have 10 rappellers sort of getting things juiced up for Friday. And with that, we have a performance by Bird's Eye View Circus. So we're sort of tying together the aerials and the acts and really the community effort here. This has been a lot of people coming together. We have ProMedica as our presenting sponsor. WTOL is our media sponsor. So they have announcers who come down and read bios for everyone who rappels. We give shout outs to people in the crowds. And then on Friday is the main event. It's a full day from 9 to 6. We have 85 rappellers who will be going over the edge. And each one of them gets the opportunity to really be celebrated. This draws a parallel for us at the Victory Center to the people who are bravest for us, and those are our cancer patients, people who are going through treatment, people who have maybe gotten the worst news of their lives, and they're taking that and they're turning it around and turning it into something that can be a celebration. And what we really love about the Victory Center is that we can bring people side by side who are newly diagnosed and curious about this journey that they're going through and unsure, and we can introduce them to somebody who's a 10, 20-year survivor, and we can connect them and make sure that the journey is a little bit more comfortable at the end of the day for someone who really is trying to navigate something new.
All right, so I do have one more question. As somebody who is not as brave as any of the people you just spoke about, will there be a giant cushion at the bottom of the building,
right,
like the firefighters put out for jumpers?
There's no cushion, but I will say it's quite funny when you get to the bottom, because for most people without experience rappelling,
depends on how fast.
It takes anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to get down the side of the building, which, if you think about it, is not only a significant amount of time, but it does take a little bit of physical strength as well. Your forearm is going to be killing you you from using the descender device by the time.
Not Chris's.
Yeah, that thing's gonna break. I'm gonna hit that bottom.
Within about 10 feet of the ground, what eventually happens is a grown man, who is one of our ropes volunteer, will grab you midair and bring you safely to the ground. So you will fall safely into the arms of one of our volunteers, and I promise they will be gentle.
Can I pick the volunteer?
Dealer's choice.
Gonna bring my all right. It's an awesome event. It's called Over the Edge with the Victory Center. So glad that you can come hang out with us. It was so much fun. You got to come more often. Whenever you get the itch to play media again, you're always welcome on, because you do such a good job.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me. And anyone who wants to be involved, you don't have to be interested in heights. You can come down and enjoy all the fun stuff we have going on. Shout out back at you, because Queso Kitchen will be providing the food through the afternoon hours for folks who want to purchase a nice lunch. And, of course, our friends Andrew and Demetrius will be collecting tips for the Victory Center for anyone who purchases food.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kimberly. We appreciate you, darling. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
There's Kimberly Newman from the Victory Center about the Over the Edge event coming up a week from Friday. I love her.
My chest hurts right now talking about it.
What do you mean?
Just thinking about the people up there.
Oh, I know. Just the anxiety. I know, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's I didn't know why your chest is hurting. I'm like, I don't know, Donnie. Are you okay? All right, let's get it. I want to do one thing, and then I'm going to get it right over to Chris, and we're going to wrap it up. Dude, check this out. So Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez, right? So Alex has now spoken for the first time since the relationship has ended. He says he's grateful for lessons learned throughout their relationship. I had 5 years of an incredible life and partnership, and also with my daughters, and we learned so much. And now we have the opportunity to take and move forward and say, you know what? We're so grateful for the last 5 years. How do we make the next 5 years better because of lessons learned?
Is that lesson don't cheat on your incredibly hot? What's the lesson he's learned from this?
Well, not only that, I mean,
I tell you the lesson I learned from this.
Yes.
I tell you right now.
Yes, A-Rod.
You know, they tell me every time. My friends were like, no, that Ben Affleck is just a friend. Well, I tell you what I learned from that. That was a bullshit lie. A bullshit lie right there. They were not G's friends. They do not G's text. They do not G's to exchange numbers.
You should have listened to Biz Markie.
Yeah, exactly. So you should have listened to Biz Markie as well, of course, A-Rod. And also, I'm guessing that looking back now, when they were just going to a couple lunches and you were okay with that, you probably shouldn't have been okay with that, because there was probably other stuff.
I tell you what, I don't know who the hell spends $80 on lunch. That's some bullshit right there. That is not a thing. I'm like, I don't know. When did Motel 6 start selling lunch? Huh, Beach? Huh?
Well, so check this out. You notice, thank you, A-Rod. You notice how women put up with a lot. And I think you and I will all agree. Women will put up with a lot of shit from a dude that they love. A lot of shit. But all of a sudden, there comes a point where it's almost like a switch, where all of a sudden they just don't give two fucks. Like, they'll be like, you know what? This motherfucker. Well, I think J-Lo came to that point because not only did she get back with Ben Affleck so quick, she has also got rid of every Instagram photo of her and A-Rod off her Instagram page. She deleted everything.
Did she delete it, or did she look at her poor ass assistant and went, get him off my Instagram? like that poor girl was the one who had to go through 5 years of Instagram and then delete shit.
Yes, and she unfollowed A-Rod, wiped all the old photos of the two of them together, including their 2019 engagement photos. But yet, she still appears all over his timeline.
Well, yeah, you got to brag about that. I mean, even if it ended badly.
Yeah, that's still on the resume. That's still,
that's true.
Yeah, like, you may want to forget it, J-Lo, but we all know.
Yeah, so for J-Lo, it's just like, it's like on the resume where you just like leave out that period of time you worked at McDonald's. You know, it's.
You remember the old days? You used to have to explain gaps in your resume. Now it's just it's not a big deal anymore. But
COVID.
Sir, it was 2013.
Like that's what J-Lo's gonna say. They're gonna be like, hey, there's a 5-year gap in your relationship resume. What happened? COVID. I called him COVID.
There's a 5-year gap in your Instagram.
Right.
Today is my first day of school in my new class with Mrs. Lambergers. That's for 2 hours. And we even have snack break.
Ooh.
Right.
I want snack break.
Right. I think people they say they're having problems finding workers. Be a lot more jobs not finding workers if they just provide snack break and nappy time.
This show could use a snack break.
Right.
Snack break and nappy time. That's all they.
Can I ask, where are all these? Like, okay, we were supposed to end unemployment, end unemployment benefits, and then these workers would come back, right?
Right.
Well, Ohio has done that. Where are these people? Because I have seen some cats who have not anticipated working a shift in a long time hand me fries. So,
they're still riding high on that $3,100 we got from the government.
I've seen a lot of Mercedes in Arby's parking lots, and they're all like, I haven't made a shake in like 20 fucking years.
Well, if you work at McDonald's, you still have it.
Yeah. All right. So, the shake machine's always broken. All right. Let's go over to Tiefel with WTF News, and let's wrap this baby up. Let's bring this plane home.
All right. Well, New Zealand had defeated the coronavirus. Their last outbreak was in February, and they have been having a great time since. No infections, no sick. They've been able to go out to bars and restaurants, just live their normal life. But there's always that one guy. And they recently, on Tuesday, they reported that they had one case in Auckland, and he had traveled to another city. So the prime minister has put those two, Auckland and the other city he traveled to, on the 7-day lockdown, and the rest of the country on a 3-day lockdown because of a single infection.
Dang it,
because
Corona Carl.
Corona Carl, they're calling him. I gotta stay home, Corona Carl. God, that asshole.
And they are working to improve their vaccination rates, but apparently a lot of people don't figure they need it since they had stamped it out. Hopefully this might scare a bunch of people enough to go, maybe I should go get the shot.
Stamp it out my ass.
One person. I don't think that's going to scare enough people unless he's a zombie. Like, he has to be a zombie. And they're like, oh my God, coronavirus turns you into a zombie.
I'm sorry, but when they say they stamped it out, it just means they stopped testing for it, because I'm sure it's there.
No, they've been infection free. They've still been testing and everything, and they have not had any positives until this one.
All right. What else?
All right. So out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, we have a 19-year-old woman that went over to a friend's apartment, and he had a pistol there with a laser sight. They had been drinking a bit, and she picked up the weapon and turned on the laser sight, started using it to play with the cat.
Tell me she shot her cat.
Oh no.
Tell me she shot her cat.
She did discharge the weapon accidentally and shot the guy in the thigh. The cat.
At least it wasn't the cat.
First.
He was apparently standing in the doorway, so she's like flipping it around, trying to distract around the cat, and at some point discharged the weapon into his thigh.
That's right. She accidentally shot this man in the thigh playing. Oh. Sure she did. We've all seen enough. Great
J-Lo reference. I like it. All right, so also, apparently people are thinking that things are okay now and fine, that they're all starting to get back onto cruise ships. It's time to go cruising. I've been a year and a half without being able to be out on the open ocean with a bunch of other people's bodily functions, so let's get back out there. And so hopefully, though, the new situation at Carnival Cruises is going to discourage some people because their buffets are now running low on bacon. They're switching to an every other day bacon on the buffet because of shortages.
So the 1 day sausage, 1 day bacon?
It does not affect any of the other meats. Only bacon.
Really? That is the craziest thing. Yesterday, I went to Arby's, and they told me they no longer carry ham. Do you I went, what? And they said, no, if you look up at the sign, we no longer carry ham. All the ham sandwiches were gone. Sliders gone. And I was like, so you just what? You have the meats with the exception of ham? Is that a thing? Like,
you would have known it if you listened to their commercial. Arby's, we have most of the meats.
Right?
They changed it? I didn't know that. We have most of the meats. Bum, bum.
So if you were planning on going on a cruise and bacon's a deal breaker, you probably should cancel. Bring your own.
It's always a deal breaker.
BYOB.
Bring your own bacon.
Absolutely.
Everybody's like, there's that one guy, he's like, I thought it said booze. And they were like, nah, bitch, it's a pork ship.
Let's see here. All right. So my last story is, of course, part of the biggest story going on this last week.
What?
And that is Afghanistan.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right. So the Taliban are back in full force, and they didn't even have to fight for it. Nary a shot was fired. It's pretty much a bloodless coup. They recently took over Kabul. And if you want to go ahead and share the image that I have on there, Andrew, if you know how to do that.
No.
A day after taking over the capital city, they went to the amusement park where they were seen riding bumper cars while holding their rifles. Some call it fun. I call it maybe it's training. So they were riding rides, they were riding horses, they were riding bumper cars, and just having a gay old time. See, they're just like us.
Awesome.
Murderous version of us.
Except their amusement park, random bumper cars explode.
They put landmines all through the floor. So
yeah, suicide bumper car. Ah, bang! Whoa! Bam, bam.
Okay, so there's also
amusement park ever.
There's also here where they got into a gym at a military base that was abandoned as part of the withdrawal. And if the video actually loads, you'll see them discovering gym equipment for the first time on here. Now, a lot of
they're going to be ripped too.
They're going to be doubly dangerous. Now, these guys aren't stupid necessarily. They're just tribal. They haven't been exposed to a lot of the things in the world because poverty there is a lot different than poverty in the United States. So they've never seen an elliptical. They've never, or a multi-gym or used them. So they don't know what they're really doing, and they are really having fun figuring it out.
Oh my God. Dude, actually, if they weren't murderous rapists, I'd be like, oh, this is so cute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Murderous, oppressive rapists. Yeah. But,
they have a cute
everyone just likes a good time sometimes.
You notice how every dick out there, every asshole has a woman at home that like it's almost like how could this dude have a woman that would be married to him? He's such a fucking asshole. And I have a feeling that's what it's kind of like it is with the Taliban. God, these are bad people, but they're so cute on the roller coasters. Oh, it's like she always finds one bit of thing that she's like, yeah, he's a dick, but he does this so cute. And I'm like, no, he's a dick.
Bring Colleen over here. We'll ask her.
There was one time he shared a cup of Kafka with me. He was so nice. I never saw that maybe one day in our relationship, he will cut people's heads off. You don't see that coming. You don't go, wow, you look like a head chopper offer. You don't. You just get shocked by the video. And then you move on. You go, Jesus, I made a poor decision.
WTF News with Ebenezer Bushrod. Thank you, Demetrius Nicodemus. You need to get a quote from him for Liberty Insurance. You need to get a hold of D. Get a hold of him. Get a hold of the D. If you need to get a car.
They told me I'm not allowed to do that in public anymore.
If you need to get a car, Donny P is your man. Always the man with the master plan. And then there's just Tiefel. So on that note, we will just say goodbye. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!